back at it. And, all 4 of you watching right now might say, are these kids really about to talk about Game of Thrones again?
Again, the breakdowns were enough. They had to do another podcast. Or
They
Game
made a
of Thrones.
separate series of breakdowns, and now they're going to bring it back into the podcast. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Because this is history. This is TV history.
TV it really is the biggest show in television history. If you're missing out, you're just plain out dumb.
Yeah. And we like to talk about, what's going on in the world. And let's be honest, the world has been all Game of Thrones all the time.
Oh, especially on Sunday nights.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't watch, we haven't forgot about you. But, we only have 3 more weeks of this.
Right.
And then we'll be back to talking about random, R. Kelly and Conor McGregor stuff.
Just consider
and don't
this.
forget about Cardi B.
Yes, that's a regular. Just think about this. On Twitter alone, last night's episode, I believe it was 7.8 million tweets just revolving around Game of Thrones, and they owned every single trending topic.
Yeah.
So
that just proves that we got to talk about it.
It warrants discussion.
Another reason why we're going to talk about it is because me and JD, we've been fighting the past couple days.
We have, because it's super controversial.
Yes. Half of the world says the episode was crap. Half the world says it was the greatest episode of television of all time.
And it's black and white.
Yeah. So which side are we on? You'll find out. But first, real quick, we want to shout out our socials.
Follow us, please.
Matt
We're hurting.
JD,
We need your support.
Instagram. Please follow us on Twitter as well. Twitter needs some love.
I think it's like your dad, my grandma. We need more people here.
That's pretty much it. I think my dog might have made an account. No, but yeah, we posted a poll last night. We're gonna post more polls and stuff like that on Twitter and especially Instagram.
And we have plenty of other content on there too, aside from just podcast content. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that.
Definitely. So follow the socials, subscribe. We would really appreciate that. That would go a long way.
Yeah.
And if you can't support us on YouTube, feel free to support us on any podcast app because we also post there. But there's definitely more content on YouTube. Absolutely. If you haven't seen this episode or it's been a couple days, go check out our recap. Right. That'll be up by the time you see this.
And for anyone that doesn't watch Game of Thrones and is listening to this podcast, we're sorry that it's not anything other than Game of Thrones. Next week we'll probably have...
Just bear with us. Yeah.
Next week we'll probably have a normal podcast. But for this one...
Unless Game of Thrones blows our minds again, then we might have to talk about it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Most likely it won't be a Game of Thrones podcast next week.
Right.
But yes, this is our official spoilers warning, though. Yes. Everything that happened in the episode we are going to talk about. So if you haven't seen it and you're going to watch it at some point, get out of here. But, make sure you like the video first. So I think that's going to do it for, housekeeping things.
Yep.
Now, let's get into it.
All
right. The episode is all about this girl right here. Arya Stark, man.
Awesome. She's a badass.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
For Arya for the throne.
For the throne?
For the throne. For the throne. We gotta say it just because she's a badass.
Yeah,
I don't know though. We both have our different choices.
I like her. No, I like her.
I wanted Lyanna Mormont to sit on the throne.
That would have been smart.
That didn't happen.
She's stern.
May she rest in peace. All right, where do we even begin? The episode all together as a whole, brilliant. The way it was shot. Well, I'm not talking storyline.
No, I know. I'm just
saying
this, right? Yeah. I disagree with this, but I know people out there would be saying this, is they didn't like the way it's shot because it was too dark.
I know. I was going to... Yeah. I have mixed feelings.
Right. I loved the way it was shot. I think the whole sequence of, the Dothraki going out, even though it didn't really make sense story-wise, it was cool.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
Why are we sending a huge chunk? That's like a third of our army right off the bat. We're sending them right in to the dead army to die. We know they're going to die.
And I'm pretty sure when they were discussing the battle plan, I don't know, maybe just like an episode later, they were like, we can't meet them in open battle.
I know.
We won't beat them on a one-on-one fight.
So why are we sending them out? Let them come to us.
Exactly.
Yes, they have flaming swords. By the way, I do think that was brilliantly shot.
Oh, of course.
I don't agree with the whole strategy behind it, but I agree with like the lights and how you see them go out slowly.
Yeah.
Great. But yeah, they send the Dothraki out there, and then we see, them start shooting, catapulting fiery cannonballs in there. Why don't we just catapult those fiery cannonballs in there without sending the Dothraki
Can
army?
we also just mention that the catapults were in the front, not the back?
I just don't know.
It was weird.
I just don't know. I feel like it was just to...
It was just like,
just to get something out of the way real quick, yeah. The poor Dothraki, I think there's like 6 left. So they
might all be dead.
They're going extinct.
Yeah.
Poor Dothraki.
Right.
Along with that, Ghost was on the front lines going in with the Dothraki.
Yeah, we'll get into it later, but that was lame. He has no connection to any of those people. Why is he going out?
He has no connection with them. He went in. We didn't see him come back. We didn't see him attack anybody.
But we see him in the trailer. I didn't like that.
So let this be your public service announcement. Ghost survived.
Just kill him.
How did he? We have no idea.
They keep on saying it's because of CGI budget.
Yeah.
So just kill him.
I did see. So there was one of the visual effects guys. They were getting criticized that they didn't have the giant ice spiders like the book has.
Yeah.
And one of the guys said that it's easier to make fake creatures than it is to make real creatures like insanely large.
But I was confused about that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why? Because I mean, a dragon's almost like a lizard, so.
That is true. A dragon is close to a real creature. I don't know. I guess it's just when they try to enlarge real creatures, it just looks cheesy.
Looks weird.
That's what I'm assuming. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I could see that.
I have no idea how any of that works.
The ice spiders, I could really care less.
Yeah, I mean,
it was cool, but
I expected some other, like, I wish they improved some other stuff. I'm glad they didn't do those ice spiders, but you should have put that work into some other things.
Yeah.
Like give Ghost a kill, just one kill.
I know.
Let him do something in the fight.
We didn't see him. He went in and we didn't see him the entire episode.
Yeah.
Very strange.
All right, what else we got here? We got John and Danny on the mountaintop.
And I just want to say, besides from that story part with John and Danny, just the way the episode was shot was good because it was the mood changes.
Yeah.
So you start off very nervous. You have Samway, like you're very nervous. You're like, oh my god, like it's all gonna go to hell. And then Melisandre comes out of nowhere. She lights up the swords, and you're like, all right, maybe.
Can we mention Melisandre for a second?
Yeah.
She came.
I don't know. It was confusing.
Yeah. She just walked in from like the Dead Army side.
Jorah
and
doesn't
no
know
one
her.
questioned it.
Dothraki doesn't know her.
No one was like, hey, why'd you just come from their side?
Yeah.
Maybe like that's just a plot hole, and like she actually didn't come from that side.
Yeah, I have no idea. But like I said, Melisandre comes. She lights up the swords. Or like, all right, maybe we have a chance. They go in, get wiped out. You're like, oh, screw. Then the whole wall of dead come, and you're like, oh my god, it's all gonna go to hell. And then they light the trench, and then you're like, okay, there's hope.
They almost didn't light the trench, but they lit the trench.
And then all of a sudden, the Night King just says, all right, just pile your bodies on. And then they go get past the trench, and they start piling the walls. And then you got the mood change where it's like creepy with art. It was perfect. Like the way they said they didn't want it to be a complete battle scene, just like all that war. I understand that. I think they did that perfectly.
Yeah.
And I think when they went inside like Winterfell and stuff, that was great, like change of tempo.
I know, I like that. I know some people didn't because some people were confused. They were like, why is Winterfell so big all of a sudden? And I was like, it's always been that big.
Yeah.
But like throughout the show, their budget increased, so they showed more of Winterfell.
And Winterfell also got rebuilt, so it was much smaller before, and now it got much bigger because after Theon sacked it, they rebuilt it.
Yeah. But yeah, so John and Danny sitting on the mountain. I mean, some people were hating on like Danny for abandoning the plan, which was to stay with the dragons.
They abandoned the plan at the beginning. Anyways.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like we just watched the whole Dothraki army die.
Yeah.
So why are we just gonna sit on our dragons and wait? Let's go do something. And that leads to the whole dragon, flight aspect of the complaints about how it was blurry and dark. But I mean, they're flying dragons in the storm that the Night King's bringing. I don't expect it to be clear. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
plus it kept you on your toes. You're wondering like, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah. I think if that specific scene, I'm not talking about, I don't think it would have worked well if the actual battle was filmed during the day.
Yeah.
But I think if that scene was filmed during the day in the clouds, like in the mist, I think that would have looked way cooler. Just because you could see really what's going on.
Yeah, but I mean, there was one shot with the dragons coming up through the clouds with the moonlight. It was beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
Like there was just. Plus, I mean, the episode was titled "The Long Night."
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of expect it to be dark.
I would think so.
Yeah. Plus, it being dark in the first third of the episode, like, because the second third of it had the fire and it was all like fiery red.
Yeah.
And I feel like it being dark just totally increased the hype of like the second part of it, where it was all red and orange and fiery. Yeah. I love that.
I guess just to play devil's advocate, because I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I could see people saying that it was like unwatchable because if you have a crap TV, there's no chance you're watching the episode. Yeah. But I'm just saying, you see the Battle of Blackwater. I understand the Battle of Blackwater didn't have a storm, but that was shot as night, and you could see a decent amount.
That is true.
So it's almost like the quality. I don't want to say they did it on purpose, but maybe it was just a misstep or something. It just seems like they could have still made that effect and just made it clearer.
I know. I wish they just like increased the brightness just slightly, just so we could see everything a little bit more clear. But honestly, I I didn't really complain about it too much until I saw everyone else complaining. I was like, oh yeah, maybe they have a point.
Yeah.
But like we watched it together, and I didn't think it was that bad.
No.
But,
I mean, there was a couple points like, what's going on? Because
yeah.
you couldn't tell. But I mean,
it was
I didn't
mainly
complain.
like the dragon stuff.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't really tell what I was looking at. I couldn't tell like who was riding the dragon. Was it the Night King?
Also, I would say not the whole episode, but at the beginning when the dead rushed them, I was like, what's just like a sea of black.
Yeah.
Which was
well,
whatever.
They did say. I mean, they did say they kept it like that. So because it's just this looming threat, you know, of not being able to see it. So I do kind of respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched the behind the scenes. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's season 8, episode 3. I think it's called like Game Revealed or something like that.
Something like that.
It's 40 minutes long, but like it's so good. It goes into detail on how they shot the whole episode.
Massive respect to them.
And they justify everything people are complaining about. And I agree with everything they said.
I mean, just the dedication it took to film that whole episode.
55 nights.
In like negative 14-degree weather.
Negative 14 degrees. They shot from like 6 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's nuts.
Yeah, like just imagine for 55 straight nights having to like change around your complete, you know, body habit to work those hours.
Massive respect to everybody. And I'll say this, the actors, of course, respect them.
Mm-hmm.
But the camera crew and the directors,
hell yeah.
Those are the people that go unnoticed, because and they're the one that makes everything.
They're out there probably like 3-4 hours before the actors even get there, and probably 3-4 hours before after they leave. So
massive respect.
No,
to those people.
that's awesome. Yeah. I loved everything about that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the story. Not many complaints in the whole setup in the beginning, besides the Dothraki thing. Dany hopped on her dragon like a badass and just went to their rescue.
That's what John came after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I messed with that.
That was cool.
The whole middle part with Arya, I thought that was cool. Walking Dead, I'm sorry, but you're irrelevant now.
Yeah.
They just one upped you at your own game. No, yeah, that was awesome. And then we have the whole scene with like the Red Woman and Arya and the Hound after Beric Dondarrion sadly dies. But
yeah, I mean, savage. He's a savage. I like how they filmed that.
He got stabbed like 15 times.
Yeah, and he just kept trucking on.
Yep.
Legend.
But
I kind of wish he like bursted into flames. That would have been.
I know.
That would have been sick.
I know.
But it's all right. He died. He died honorably.
I mean, he's been brought back by the Lord of Light many times. Why not Melisandre bring him back one more time?
Because I think she said that was his purpose.
Yeah, she said that he fulfilled his destiny and all that. But yeah, so the Red Woman then brings back a prophecy from, I think it was season 3.
Yeah, it was season 3.
And the Red Woman looks at Arya, and she was like, I see death inside you. I see 3 faces, brown eyes, blue eyes, and green eyes staring back at me. And you shut their eyes forever. And at the time, I was like, the first time I watched it through, didn't pay that any attention. The second time I watched it through, I was like, that definitely means something, but I have no idea what.
Right.
And now we see that the brown eyes, this is open for interpretation. Meryn Trant that she killed had brown eyes, but Walder Frey also had brown eyes. I would think it's Walder Frey, right? Yeah. That was like a bigger Arya moment. It's
tough because Meryn Trant was important at that time.
Yeah.
But I would say probably Walder Frey.
Yeah, because it was like she killed off all the Freys at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we see, Melisandre say, what do we say to the God of Death?
Not today.
Not today. Not today, man.
That was from, obviously, what's his name?
Syrio Forel.
Yeah, from the first season.
Yeah.
The swords teacher.
But yeah, and then we see Arya run out. We don't think about it at all. And then, we just move on with the episode, because that's the great part about the episode, is it just goes from one thing to the next. Like, just bam, bam, bam. But yeah, so we want to talk about because... All right, we can say it now. I loved the episode. I am all for the episode. I had a couple disappointing factors from the episode, but all in all, I loved it. I think it was one of the best episodes in all of television ever.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the episode. Okay, I did.
Yeah.
I liked the way the mood changes, the scenes. I liked almost everything about that episode.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't like was the storyline aspects of the episode.
All right, well, let's talk about it. We have Dany here.
Okay.
We have different opinions on Dany.
Okay.
As a whole.
Yes.
But I think this episode we both agreed that she stepped it up.
Oh, of course. I mean, it shows the cost that she went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to come to defend Jon.
Yeah.
She did. She lost.
She was all about the Iron Throne.
She lost all her Dothraki army.
Yeah.
Most of her Unsullied.
Yeah.
And her right-hand man, Jorah.
Yep.
and she almost lost a dragon, but they're back. So
somehow we can talk about that too.
She sacrificed a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I think that might change her. I don't
for the good.
For the good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Jon is going to be an asshole and be like, oh well, I'm the rightful heir now.
I don't think Jon wants the throne.
I don't think he wants it either.
Simply because he's never asked for any source of power. He was just always given it.
I think there might be a twist now though.
There could be.
Because the Night King's dead. His sole purpose is fulfilled.
Yeah. Like Jon's sole purpose?
Yeah, because he was all about the dead army. Now it's like, all right, what does he do now?
Mm-hmm.
What if he's kind of interested?
Maybe,
I just think they could explore that.
You're right.
But
you're right.
No, she definitely stepped up, and the haters. I used to say that she was gonna turn on him. She still might.
People are still hating though. They're like, Daenerys is only about the Iron Throne. I'm like, she picked up a sword and she's fighting right now.
She fought for her
which
life.
I thought was pretty badass.
I know. I thought it was badass too, but she was fighting for her life.
Okay, but not on the dragon. She was fighting for her life, but also everybody else's life.
Of course.
But yeah,
no,
so
she's savage.
I love that scene. I thought everything with the whole Daenerys Jorah thing was awesome. His death,
the way he died, perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect for him. Yeah. Yep.
That's one of the things they got right.
Yeah,
I admit it.
They killed it. But one of the things they got wrong.
What?
Well, I don't know. So they got right the aspect of him bringing back the dead, right?
Yeah.
We all expected this. People, anyone that died would be brought back for his army, right? We all knew that was coming. And they built this up. Jon's sprinting at him, and he lifts up the dead. And we see, Lyanna Mormont wake up. We see Ed wake up.
Yeah.
We see Chris Stapleton was an extra in this.
Was he really?
But he woke up. Yeah. But yeah, so we see characters we love wake up, right? And we're like, oh my God, they're about to come back. Then we don't see them again. They don't fight anybody.
I know. That's also true.
They're irrelevant after that. And I'm like, come on, you got to show us.
I wasn't super bothered about that.
Yeah.
But that is a good
I
point.
feel like that was just one detail that they totally missed out on.
Yeah.
Like it would have been. And I don't know if it was like, I don't know, after they shot the actors waking up, that was it for the actors. I don't know.
I don't know why they limited themselves to an hour and 20 minutes. Give us a 2-hour,
or
35-minute episode, bro.
I mean, an hour and 20 minutes, but I feel like they should have substituted some things for other things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like shorten some aspects of it and get scenes like this of Lyanna trying to kill somebody. I don't know. But yeah, that was just a small detail.
Right.
But this one, to me, this was the biggest letdown of the whole episode.
My God.
Okay. And I know some people aren't, we'll get to the whole Night King death scene. And some people say that was the biggest disappointment. To me, this was the biggest disappointment ever.
One thing I'll say that gives us a hint towards this is that in the intro for this episode, the lights go out in the crypts.
Do they?
Yeah. So it was kind of a hint towards this happening in the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a major letdown because we do see Maester Luwin.
I don't even know if it was him, to be honest. I mean, we just see a Maester, and I'm just assuming it was Maester Luwin. But then again, Winterfell was burned when
he was
died.
outside on the Godswood.
Yeah, so I don't even know if anyone brought him into the crypts.
Yeah, so
I don't even know if Maesters get buried in the crypts because I think it's just the Starks, right?
I would think so.
Like the lords.
I don't know how those rules work.
Yeah, me neither.
But I mean, this was their opportunity. All right, everyone was alluding to this.
I know. We all suspected some sort of dead Stark reunion.
And these are like the entire Stark family is buried down in these crypts.
Granted, we don't know about Catelyn and we don't know about Robb because
they got beheaded and Catelyn got thrown in a river.
Yeah, I never really expected them to send their bodies back, so they're kind of out of play here.
Even Ned, a headless Ned Stark would have been cool, but I can even see Ned Stark because he doesn't have a head.
Yeah.
But I mean, give us like some. I know in the books there's like the Kings of Winter are supposed to be down in the Winterfell crypts.
Yeah.
Tell me like if some like White Walkers or some like crazy looking kings came out of there and just went crazy.
Or even like Lyanna Stark. I don't know. Granted, we don't know what she looks like as an actress, but
they
have Sansa be like, "Oh my God, that's my aunt."
Yeah, right.
Like, give us something, and they gave us nothing.
And this, we won't go full on with this, okay? But I'll just say this now.
Yeah.
No important characters died in those crypts.
I know. We'll get to that. I mean, okay, this is what bugs me too. So we had this, we have a lot of main characters down there. We have Tyrion, who's up there, probably top 5. We have Sansa, who's like top 3.
10. Do you think top 3?
I mean, I would think it's like Dany, Jon, Sansa.
Cersei.
Bam. fuck Cersei.
Cersei's number 1, I would think.
I know, but in this episode she's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But no, Sansa's up there, Tyrion's up there. We got Varys down there. We barely saw any of Varys down there. He had like one good one-liner.
Yeah.
Of I don't even remember what it was. Do you remember?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
That's how unimportant it was.
Exactly. But okay, so we have this scene where shit starts to hit the fan in the crypts, right? And we see Tyrion and Sansa behind someone's tomb. Mm-hmm. And they're having this nice convo, and it's great because, to be honest, Tyrion and Sansa, power couple, in my opinion.
They're a good couple.
But, okay, we see Sansa pull out a knife. My first thought was that they were going to kill themselves. Did you think that?
I did, and a lot of people did, from what I know.
Because the music was sad. It was very slow and sad, and she pulled it out, and they kind of looked at each other, and I was like...
And they said something, too. I forgot what it was. It was like... It was almost... That's not what they meant to say, but it was almost meaning like, oh, like, don't do it, or I'm going to have to do it, or something like that.
Right? And I legit thought they were going to kill themselves.
Now, that would have been a twist.
Right? That's, like, as sad as that would have been, like, that would have been one of the twists we're looking for. They didn't do it. But we see Tyrion, like, get up. Like, they're going to go, fuck some shit up. And then we don't see that. I think they either cut away from it or...
They hide with the other characters.
I'm like, are you kidding me? We're not going to see Tyrion stand up and fight some of these whites. We're not going to see Sansa, who we all want Sansa to get some combat up in here.
Dude,
granted, she's not trained, but we want to see something.
How cool that would be! At least she like meleeed like one of the whites. Like that would have been sick.
She had a dragon glass knife. Yeah. So let's see her do something.
Yeah.
No. They hid.
And let's just talk about that fraud, that little girl, dude.
Oh my! I'm gonna be in the crypts protecting everybody. You didn't do shit.
Yeah, she's like one of the first ones to die.
I know. By the way, I respect Game of Thrones and the way they shoot things, but I thought Gilly died like 4 times.
Bro, yeah, you're right.
I saw a couple actresses die, and I was like, oh, that's Gilly, right? Yeah. That's Gilly. No, she survived.
And so did little Sam somehow.
I don't know.
And how did that? Okay, I don't get it. How did the dead people not see them?
I know. How did they just hide?
Like, like Tyrion like walked by and it was like, "Oh, hey guys."
Yeah.
And it's like, how did those people?
I know. Like Tyrion and Sansa had a good hiding spot at first.
Yeah.
Then they go see Varys and he's just like right behind a wall. I'm like, no, that makes no sense.
Yeah, very very weird.
So the crypts, most disappointing part of the episode.
I agree, 100%.
But then we get to this.
Okay. Listen to me. All right. Listen to me. I have absolutely zero problem that Arya killed the Night King.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's one of the best characters to even do that.
Yeah.
All right? I have no qualms with that. My problem with this episode lies
Yeah.
on how we were hyped up for 8 seasons, and this big episode comes. He's so ominous. He's just destroying everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, he sees Bran. He's done. He's dead.
Do you ever think that the Night King and the whole, dead army was a distraction from the real threat of human-to-human schemes and plots to get the throne?
No.
It's called Game of Thrones.
But it's the exact opposite. The whole point is that the whole the whole show was that everyone was focusing on the throne. The whole show is everyone's focused on the throne. It was Robert Baratheon, but we see after his throne. Then we see Cersei with Joffrey, and then it's Robb trying to reclaim the lands, and then it's just an ongoing circle for Dany to get the throne, blah, 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 blah. And my man Jon is over here like, guys, maybe we should, defeat this dead. Mm-hmm. Guys, maybe we should, do this. Hey, wildlings, come on. Night's Watch, let's group together all throughout the episodes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this is the battle. This is the battle for humanity right here because he wants an endless night. This is more important than a freaking Game of Thrones because this is the end of all humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to tell me this man just strolls in, he sees Bran. Bran's just sitting there and he just, like that. I don't care that she killed him. Even if it was in this way, what I would have liked to see, right?
Yeah.
Was something
I'll just wait for my rebuttal.
No, that's fine. I know you're going to come back to me. I just want to get this out, all right?
This is what we fought about for
hours. I'm not just being on the opposite side. I really feel passionately about this.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to see something like, okay, right? Let's just say he's out there, right? And then he does this. He can even do this exact thing, right? Mm-hmm. But then Bran touches him, and they go into some I don't know what they're called. What is he called? A wet?
Warg.
Warg.
Yeah.
They go into some vision, and it's just the Bran and the Night King just in one area.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. They can even fight, or they can go into backstory, or just something more of this character, because it seems like we've spent seasons and seasons just seeing him, and he's so mysterious. and that he just died, and we didn't learn any of these mysteries. He was literally pointless.
I'll agree with that. I was expecting some sort of Bran Night King interaction. We got none of that. I mean, I was expecting, like you said, I was expecting some sort of flashbacks or Bran to do something. He did nothing. Granted, we do need to talk about what Bran was doing because that's up for
maybe
discussion.
Next episode he'll do something like go back in time and review.
Well, my thing was he was warging the whole episode until the end. What was he doing? Like we saw his ravens find the Night King, and then they went somewhere else, and we never saw where he went.
No.
Was he doing something else? Maybe
the point could be made that he was luring the Night King, and maybe the Night King thought he was just so daft that he was just flying the birds, thought he was going to live, and he kind of lured him into that spot. I don't know. I just think he essentially to me is a pointless character.
Who?
The Night King. I get it's set up perfectly because he literally just killed a lot of Daenerys' army, and they're hurting for Cersei.
Yeah.
That sets up that point nice. But I think if you're going to hype up someone this big and this mean, and we know magic is so important and this is the end of humanity, he's just gone with the blink of an eye?
All right, here's my problem with your argument.
Okay.
Is I feel like it's being based on, and let me explain myself. I feel like it's being based on fan theories. We have the fan theories about humanity coming together to fight the Night King. That was never told to us from writers. That was never concrete told to us in the show. That was just fans interpreting what could happen this season, and they're like, maybe everyone will die because they don't come together. We need to come together to do this. What if the actual theory is that death was just the distraction from the real problem, which is human-to-human risk? Because, let's be honest, I mean, anything the Night King did wasn't even close to as crazy as the Red Wedding, and that was just a human betraying a human.
But that's the show's fault. They didn't kill anybody. They purposely didn't kill anybody.
What, in this episode?
Yeah.
I know. I agree that more characters should have died. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree there. But we're getting rid of this threat to uncover the true threat. I mean, this stems from like the discussion between Littlefinger and Varys in the throne room. It's all for the throne, and it's about this chaos and how it's a ladder, and I mean, we can go to the wheel metaphor from Dany and how she wants to break the wheel. It's always been about the throne. That's always been the biggest thing. So why wouldn't we? Yes, this was a huge threat. This was a huge battle. It was great, but let's end it with the biggest savage on the show, Arya Stark.
She's a savage. No, I agree.
Let's end it, and let's go after Cersei, the real threat.
Okay. Here's the problem with your argument right there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Every action, when you have in Game of Thrones, there's actions and consequences for those actions.
Another fan theory.
It's not a fan theory. It's proven. It's proven.
It is, but okay, keep going.
Like literally every season, the whole point why Game of Thrones is captured our hearts is because someone's actions led to something we didn't think would happen.
Yeah.
But because of it, we're like, oh, they'd never do that, but they freaking did it because that's what the actions led to. Like Ned Stark.
Yeah.
We thought Ned Stark was gonna stroll in into the palace. He's got the note, and Cersei rips it up. Joffrey beheads him, and we're like, what? Like, that's crazy. His action has consequences. Okay. The Night King's army.
I don't know about that example. Ned Stark didn't do anything wrong.
I'm not saying he did.
Like Robb Stark did something wrong. He betrayed, so then he died.
With Ned Stark, though, he challenged Cersei. I'm not saying that he did something wrong, but what he did is he challenged Cersei and said that she has time to leave, or else he's gonna go after him.
Before we go off Ned Stark, though, Cersei wanted to allow Ned Stark to live. She wanted him to live.
Of course.
It was Joffrey, the psychopath, who, in my opinion, was 10,000 times more dangerous than this guy.
I don't know about that, but you are correct about what you're saying.
Psychopath.
But Cersei's action, she did not want to kill Ned Stark.
Okay.
But Cersei's action of denying Ned Stark to be the ruler until Joffrey comes of age meant that Joffrey was the king, and then Joffrey beheads him, and that's what starts the war.
Okay.
Right? So my point to this is the Night King's army outnumbered the Winterfell army 10-1. Okay? Cersei did not come together, and I realize that's a plot point. But it seems like this episode is affected by plot points, and not the sense. It's not common sense. It's more like plot armor. Like the main characters, they don't die because it's almost like plot armor. Like they have a purpose somewhere else. So we'll just show them in this cool like death battle, but they have a purpose later on.
I kind of agree with the plot armor.
Right. And I just think, right? Honestly, I wouldn't be as annoyed if more characters died.
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed that I didn't get to see more of the Night King, or he didn't talk, he didn't do anything, we didn't see any memories.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed we didn't see a battle. Like, he didn't fight. We
That's
saw
what
the
I'm saying.
dragon fight.
Yeah.
That was it. And I know, like, don't get me wrong, I didn't want Jon Snow to kill him.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to see a Jon Snow sword fight, and then Arya swoops in, or a Jon Snow sword fight, and then, I mean, honestly, Jon Snow loses maybe.
Yeah.
Or just something. I feel we never really got to see combat with this dude.
No.
So I was a little disappointed by that.
It's just that's just what I'm. It's just like it's so empty. That's what I just don't like.
Onto your actions have consequences thing though.
Yeah.
Your one argument you said last night was that, like on that topic, was that if they wouldn't come together, they wouldn't defeat him. And you were saying how they didn't come together because they didn't get Cersei.
Some of them came together.
Yeah, but the good came together.
But they're outnumbered 10-1.
I mean, they were outnumbered in the Battle of the Bastards.
But this is the dead, Matt. This is
okay, but this one guy created all the White Walkers. It makes sense. You kill this guy, you win. John's smart. He figured it out.
And I'm not saying that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the way they shot this episode, it was just so unrealistic. Like
it's a fantasy show.
But it's a realistic fantasy show.
I guess.
That's like The Dark Knight. People say it's a superhero movie. Well, it's a realistic superhero movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My point to I would almost like to see maybe the Night King wins Winterfell, and they, I don't know, maybe have to retreat to like King's Landing. Someone has to bend the knee. I don't know. That would have been cool. I just think that it was just wasted potential. I'm still excited for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And I'm still excited to see
and I
what
respect you
happens
for that because I know a couple people that are like, I'm done with the show. I'm going to keep watching, but I'm done with the show. I don't expect anything. And I'm like, this is the greatest show of all time.
Oh, of course it is.
These writers are the greatest TV writers of all time. I have so much faith in them that honestly, they probably want all this chaos right now. They probably want
I'll tell you what
they
thing.
probably want people to fight
Yeah.
so that later on when a giant plot twist happens, Red Wedding Part 2 happens, we're all like, shit, they still got it.
And this is why I'm being like open-minded.
Yeah.
Because maybe the Night King's not really dead.
That's I mean, there's theories of that.
Or maybe we're gonna learn something later on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm keeping my open mind.
One thing I want to say though is that everyone's like, death is dead now. The king of death. Death is never dead. Death is still a huge part of
Everybody
the rest of
dies.
that's what I'm saying. Someone was like, that doesn't even matter anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, death still is the biggest enemy. They're all trying to escape it. But yeah, maybe the Night King still, I don't know.
If this is the way that ends just with the Night King, though, I gotta be honest, I'm disappointed. As a fan, I'm not even saying it for fan theories because that Azor Ahai shit, that would have been cool. I honestly don't care about that.
I mean, I think it's tough now because you would think that Arya is now Azor Ahai, but she didn't follow the prophecy of like killing her love.
She wasn't a Targaryen. It was like
it's weird.
So I don't care about those fan theories. I don't care about Bran the Builder and all those other stuff.
I do think the fan theories play a large role. I'll let you finish your thought though.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I just wanted to see more of this man. This man was the big baddie, but really what he is he's no more than a Roose Bolton, really. Think about it. Roose Bolton was a little bit more of a bitch than this guy.
I mean, Ramsay. Roose Bolton, he was kind of irrelevant. He got killed by Ramsay.
I mean, he killed at the Red Wedding.
That's true. Yeah. All right, but I want to talk about fan theories for a second because
ahead.
I think a lot of this chaos that's happening
It did happen from the
is simply because there was a 2-year gap between the last season and this season, right? If we go back to season 1, everyone's just watching, not expecting a freaking thing, unless you read the books, but not expecting a thing. So when Ned Stark dies, we're like, holy shit, this is where this show's going. And then even season 2, we still don't really know what's happening. Again, unless you read the books. But now we're at a point where the books aren't out.
Yeah.
We had 2 years before this season, so everyone and their mother was like, oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if this happens? So everyone's developing their own ways about how the Battle of Winterfell can go. So, it's like we're all rooting for one of those theories, and when it doesn't happen, we're disappointed, And I don't think you're like a specific case of this, but I feel like you were kind of rooting for the Night King showing that everyone has to come together.
I was.
And that didn't happen, and you were disappointed. And that's why you're left with this empty feeling.
Because I feel like Game of Thrones embodies that, though. Because they leave a trail of crumbs. Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't speak. A trail of crumbs, so that it doesn't necessarily have to always mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it means that something similar is going to happen from the books. they adapt it from the books, but and they add their own twist sometimes.
Yeah.
I get this is made before the books are done, and maybe in the book the Night King is more serious. I just don't think he was as prophesized, because they hyped up their own show. I mean, just going off episodes, the hype that was up for this man, this dude seemed unstoppable at Hardhome. When he defeated the Wall,
we still see that he basically was unstoppable. That
I know, and that's why this little quick death didn't do him justice.
See, I think everyone's looking at this death as, oh, the Night King's not as strong as he's supposed to be. Why can't we look at it like Arya is a lot more badass than we ever expected her to be?
But I don't have a problem with Arya. That's the thing. Like I think even this death is suiting. Like, I don't mind that he went off this way.
Yeah.
I just think his true, like, maybe give him 2 episodes. Like, I don't know, write the story a little bit different where you battle him one time and then you have to battle him again. I don't know. It just seems like, seems so simple.
One thing is, though, is that there are prequels coming, and the leading prequel is the Long Night. So, I mean, we're going to see more of the Night King.
I would hope
that could
so.
be, I mean, was that why he died this episode? I don't think so. I think he was always going to die this episode.
Think so?
But in their plans.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's why we didn't see a flashback with Bran. I think that's why we didn't see a lot of his storyline become uncovered, because they want to save that.
I just think
is that wrong? I don't know. I think because that's going to get me to watch.
Yeah. I just think the writers are I don't know what it is. I think they're catering too much to the television show.
I don't. If this was the final episode of the season of the series, I would totally agree. I was like, you know what?
3 more.
What are you talking about? Okay, so much has happened in the first 3.
Think about this. This is a perfect.
We have 3 more.
This is a perfect point.
Okay.
That whole scenario where Tyrion, Sir Davos, Tormund, Brienne, and Jaime are on the fire.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. It's like everyone's making their rounds and they're saying their goodbyes. That whole episode was pointless because not even a single one of those people died.
Okay.
Except Ed.
First off, it wasn't pointless because that was still one of the best scenes in all of TV.
Yes. It was.
I agree, though, that like Brienne should have died. That was her funeral.
Yes.
I don't know why she didn't die.
Brienne.
I really don't like how they shot it backs against the wall, right? But in so many scenes, it looks like they were dying.
Yeah.
Like, it literally, like, especially when Jon walks by Sam and leaves him to die, it literally looks and sounds like Sam is getting torn to pieces.
And Sam is
fine.
Is really just there crying.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me no White sees him at all and kills him. And that's just the point of the episodes that bothers me the most. And it just seems like this wasn't a true Game of Thrones episode. And I already told you, I love the way it was shot. I love everything.
It was, though.
Because I think like it has Game of Thrones if it entered like the Marvel universe.
I think it has underlying meaning that we just don't see yet.
I sure hope so. Because if not, it's just put a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Because let's just look at this. The director that directed this is directing episode 5. He's always been the battle guy.
Yeah.
So we're assuming that the fight against Cersei happens in that episode. And then episode 6, we're going to see how everything resolves, right? If in episode 5 and 6 we get another one of these, I might be with you.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's episode 3. That's only halfway through the season. Plus, it's not like the first 3 episodes. We're getting 3 more episodes, an hour and 20 minutes long each. About.
Yeah.
It varies. But there is so much left to happen that I think they wanted this chaos of people being like, the writers are soft, to bring our guard down. Because our guard was so high. We were like, all right, this Battle of Winterfell, either everyone's dying or Littlefinger comes back to life. Some crazy shit's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because we have high expectations. They're lowering them a little bit, but still giving us a great fucking episode. But they're lowering them a little bit so that the real, true point of the show is backstabbing humans on humans. Is Dany going to kill Jon? Jon going to kill Dany? We still got the Hound versus the Mountain. We still got Jaime versus Cersei, or is it going to be Arya versus Cersei because Arya has her list and she has her prophecy? Like, there's so much left, and to me, the backstabbing of humans is far scarier than just facing a creature of death. Like, we know that's scary. The scariest part of human on human is that, like, you don't know. Like, it's just one among us.
I understand your point.
Yeah. You don't agree with it, though.
I don't 100%. I can see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The way the show has been set up throughout the season, I always feel like this was the whole point of the show was that the interfighting was going to be the downfall of the whole all Westeros, but I could see how the other thing could happen too.
Yeah.
Me personally, maybe it's just this episode honestly put a really bad taste in my mouth. I already told you I'm excited for the rest of the episodes.
Yeah.
It just put a bad taste in my mouth, and I honestly, right at this point, I don't really care who sits on the Iron Throne. But I think next episode, when they palate cleanse, it'd be like a palate cleanse. Maybe they'll set something cool up, and I'll get excited again.
Yeah.
But just right now, I'm just disappointed. I really could care less who sits on the throne, but I think next episode I'll probably
it's gonna get back into the hype
be
train.
better.
Yes, and I hope they do. I really hope they come back next episode hot. The only problem is next episode's gonna be like a recovery episode, and we're gonna kind of see where things are going. And so I can already tell people are going to hate on it, and they're going to be like, oh, my God, this is just like episodes 1 and 2, which, by the way, episodes 1 and 2 were fucking solid.
I love them.
Yeah.
I just think they did this, HBO did this themselves, or I think it was HBO who decided this. They should have made the season at least 10 episodes.
I know. A lot of people are saying that. I agree.
Because if they stretched it out a little bit more, we could have fleshed into these points a little bit more.
The problem is, though, it took 2 years to shoot 6 episodes. It would have taken at least 3.
I would be fine with that, though.
Would you? I don't know. Three years between seasons, because think about it, I mean, it's already a difference in the appearance of characters, you know? Like, if you look at Lyanna Mormont from season 7 to season 8, she grew up. I mean, we don't see it as much with Maisie and Sophie now that they're older, but, like, it's just tough to go 3 years.
It's tough. I wouldn't mind waiting, though. As a fan, I wouldn't mind waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta. If it was for the sake of quality,
yes,
you gotta say you'd wait 3 years.
I still think they have quality, though.
I love the first 2 episodes.
I'm not totally with you, because I still think that this is the best season we've seen. No. A lot of people don't think that, but I think so. Because I have so much faith in the writers that I love fan theories. Don't get me wrong, and I would love to connect them.
I don't care about
love
the
to
fan
connect
theories,
them.
really.
Hold on, I love to connect them and see stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm just sitting here, let the writers take me for a ride.
Yeah.
And right now, I know that there's more coming, and that's why I'm happy. I mean, we watched it together, and the second Arya stabbed her, I jumped up. I was gassed up, and I looked at you, and you weren't, and I was like, what? What is happening right now? Like, why aren't you feeling the same way? Why aren't we chest bumping? Yeah, but that's just it. Like, I'm just a fan. I have so much trust in these writers.
Yeah.
Like, I think these writers are geniuses, slight psychopaths, but geniuses, and that's why I know there's more to come, and that's why, and I think this is just a stepping stone.
Yeah.
A lot of people are disappointed the Night King's dead, but I mean, I think their whole point is that the Night King's not the real threat.
Yeah. I respect your opinion. I'm not saying you're so wrong.
I respect yours too. I get what you're saying.
It's just I think people got different things out of it, and we'll have to see until the end what it all means and how they're gonna piece it together. I agree.
Granted, the last 3 episodes could be absolute shit, and then we're gonna have to come on here. I'm gonna be like, guys, you were right. This show is crap. The writers are soft.
I can't see it happening, though.
No,
I still have faith
I'm
in
really
it.
hoping that it's that full guns ablazing in the last 3. Crazy shit is happening. Littlefinger comes back.
That would be nuts.
I'm waiting for it.
Hey, it's a fan theory. I'm
waiting for it.
Don't.
I told you I like theories,
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the theories though. Where if that happened, I'd be like, whoa, because I've heard that fan theory 1,000 times and I've never believed it.
It kind of makes sense though.
It does.
Why did he hand that girl a coin?
I know. I don't know.
That was weird.
I don't know if that actually happens though.
Yeah.
God. But yeah.
You think this is the best season
crazy shit
right here? You wouldn't say any of the seasons were the best?
I mean, I'm also basing this I'm imagining what the last 3 episodes are going to be.
Okay, that's true.
I think by the end of it, it's going to be the best season.
Okay.
So far, I mean, it's up there. It's really tough to compare them right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I say it is. I mean, this was the biggest battle. This battle was epic. I was such a fan of this battle. Granted,
it was a cool battle.
Just turn the brightness up a smidge, and then we're all happy. But
it was a cool battle. I agree. I like the first 2 episodes too. Mm-hmm. This is the one that killed me.
And I mean, it's just a couple things. It's the Crips disappointment. Not a lot of people dying. Disappointment. Granted, there was some key people that died, but it just wasn't what you'd expect.
Let's argue this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Theon.
Mm-hmm. Do
you think he had to die? Do you think he could have distracted the Night King in a different way? It was kind of cheesy how he just.
It was a little cheesy, but I respected it.
I respect it. He finished his character arc. It was nice.
That's why I feel like it was. I just don't really know why he
Like, what if he just stood his
Theon,
ground? Yeah.
You're a good man. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, well, let me take this spear and run straight at a guy I can't beat.
And it's like, Brent, you knew Arya was gonna come. I mean, you gave her this dagger. a couple seasons back, so you know she was gonna come. So you couldn't tell Theon like, yo, just chill right here.
I mean, it's just. I think it's just good storytelling, getting a character to die right before the Night King dies to make him seem all that more powerful. I would have rather seen like a sword fight between the two. Granted, no way Theon's gonna beat him.
We got destroyed.
But like, why is he just gonna run at him with a spear? Like, there's a -% chance that that's gonna even happen.
Honestly,
like that he's gonna kill him.
Through the spear too.
Yeah. Granted, that wouldn't have worked either. But like, why is he running? I don't know. I do like it though. It was a good death for him.
He's a good character.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like how his sister responds. Like if she's gonna find out next episode.
I forgot
what's gonna
about
happen
them.
with
They do have the whole Iron Fleet. So
so I'm curious. Definitely curious to see what happens there. I just want to know where are they gonna get an army from?
Okay, it's a fan theory, but it's
the Golden Company.
I think so because the Golden Company used to fight with Aegon, maybe because Jon or Daenerys. Either one, maybe. Yeah. But I was thinking maybe Jon, more likely, because his name's Aegon.
But one connection was Jorah, because Jorah used to be part of them, but now he's dead.
He's dead. But then Khaleesi could be like, my favorite servant was...
This guy I friend-zoned 1,000 times was friends with you guys.
Yeah. I feel like now, because so many people are invested in the characters, they feel like they have to give them such extravagant deaths. I think something like this episode... just that threat is just so crazy that just like make it look brutal and just kill him. You don't have to be like Jorah or Theon where it's some grand extravagant death.
They definitely need to find a right balance for the remainder of the characters. It needs to be like a Robb Stark, Catelyn Stark where it's like it's brutal, but it's meaningful.
Yeah.
Jorah and Beric kind of both died the same way. They get stabbed a bunch of times and at the end they die.
Yeah.
Granted, they're great deaths, but yeah, they definitely need some like crazy, unexpected, brutal, quick deaths.
Like imagine Sam just getting like torn apart by knives.
Yeah.
I don't know how he lived, dude.
I don't know. I mean, I like the aspect of him living and crying because it shows the true emotion of like literally feeling helpless because they would have lost if it wasn't for Arya.
And he was always like this too.
Yeah. I was expecting him to be a little bit better because he's been in a couple more fights now, but he wasn't. But yeah, Crips were major.
Just talk about Sir Davos too. What is this guy hiding in a closet every battle? I never see this guy fight.
Did we see him fight? I don't think so.
I didn't see him fight.
Yeah.
And he's survived Blackwater.
Maybe he does just hide in a closet.
Yeah.
And just wait for it to all be over.
What's up with this
we don't
get this guy out of our team, bro.
Hey, Pod the Rod for MVP though. He somehow survived.
He should have died too.
Jaime, and Brienne all looked like they were gonna die. I really don't know how.
I thought Grey Worm got pigpiled right at the beginning.
Him, Brienne, Podrick, Jaime, we all thought died in the beginning. We're like, where'd they go? Where'd they go?
Oh no, guys, we're alive.
Oh, you know whose death was pretty good? Ed's, because that was pretty brutal and quick. No, I don't know if it was unexpected though. I mean, we saw it like the camera looked right at his face.
And they're all surrounded too.
Yeah. So I mean, but that was a good death.
And he's not. I don't want to say he's not an A-list character, but he's kind of like
he's
B.
Yeah, he's B-list.
So it's like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was solid, but
like he was always like part of the Night's Watch, and he was Jon's friend, whatever. But he was never like, "Yo, Ed, that's my boy right there."
How about the dragon surviving? Jon's dragon. We see Jon fall off the dragon
from like the heavens,
and the dragon's like he just like crash lands on the ground, and then we do not see the dragon again, and then all of a sudden he's in the preview. I like.
That's why I just think they're catering like the plot armor. I think these people have plot armor in the sense that it's important for the plot afterwards. So
I don't think the dragon necessarily had plot armor. I just don't. I don't care if he survives, but show me that he survives. Like same thing with Ghost. If they survive, that's fine. But like show them doing something, so that when the preview doesn't show up, we're like, oh, I guess they survived. Oh, okay.
My point. I don't care who it died or what. I just think too many people coincidentally survived. Like the people in the crypts, all the main characters survived.
Yeah.
Even outside, except Jorah, Dondarrion, Ed, and Lyanna.
Yeah.
Those four, and Theon. Other than those people, I mean, everyone else survived too. So it's like...
The Night King didn't, though.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of expected either Jaime or Tyrion to live just because Bronn is still in the story.
That is a big potential for plot twist, but... In reality, I really think he's just going to join the side of Dany and Jon.
I think so.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
I mean, he has no relationship with Cersei. He's got
I know he cares about money, but like Tyrion and Jaime can give him Casterly Rock. Like, no one's there.
They also literally brought him to where he's at.
Yeah.
Like, gave him that platform, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to do it.
I mean, if he does, granted, that would be a major plot twist, but you're going to have to give me some story behind that and why he's doing it, because it just doesn't make sense.
Also, Euron, I don't know if that whole plot line's
I want to
weird.
see.
It's like,
I want to see him die. I can't stand him.
he's just a prick.
He's just creepy
And weird.
I know.
I don't even under.
I'm gonna put a baby in you, or whatever he said.
Yeah,
like I was like,
okay,
oh,
buddy.
okay.
This is not even like Game of Thrones creepy. This is just like,
This
you're
is
just
like,
weird.
yeah. I mean, granted, is Cersei pregnant? We still don't know.
I think she is.
I don't think she is.
I think she is.
Granted, I don't really know what it does for her now to like lie about that anymore.
Right.
But just kind of how after Euron said that about having a baby with her, she kind of like cried and like held her stomach. So maybe she is. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and like maybe she's like, oh, like I already have my baby, and
Yeah.
that I don't know.
I don't know. I'm excited though.
I also think that the Golden Company, not the Golden Company, the Arya. What's Theon's sister's name?
Oh, Yara.
Yara. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
I think Yara's fleet's gonna get destroyed.
See, the thing that kind of bugs me, when Theon got Yara from the ship, why didn't they just take the ship?
Yeah.
Like Euron's big bad ship.
I know.
Why not take it? That thing was badass.
That was pretty cool.
Instead, they just hopped on the other ships and left. I'm like, come on. I mean, maybe they're trying to be stealthy.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I mean, now that they have the Golden Company and Euron's army, again, like the odds are stacked against these characters. If they miraculously come out of this,
If they like,
realistically, if they win and it makes it seem like, okay, this makes sense why they won. I don't want it to be another one of these where like everyone like miraculously survives.
that's what I'm saying. If they win this one, people have to die.
Yeah.
Please don't give me Brienne. Like, granted, I love Brienne as a character. Brienne cannot survive until the end.
No.
Neither can the Hound. I mean, to be honest, one of these 4 characters have to die. Dany, Jon, Arya, Sansa. One of them has to die.
Yeah.
If they all make it to the end, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That just seems. I mean, Sansa might make it. She'll probably make it to the end just because she's never really in a fight.
The
right?
Warden of the North.
But like
honestly,
Jon or Dany or Arya, like they're all kind of
Yeah.
in the thick of things. I'd say Jon and Arya the most.
Yeah.
They like one of them has to die. I would think.
But do you think, because Sansa and Cersei are so close together, they're probably the closest out of all those characters, do you think maybe they'll have some kind of
Maybe. I just think like maybe Cersei kills Sansa. I just think there's two. Jaime or Arya has to kill Cersei. I would think.
Yeah.
I don't really see any other way, or maybe Dany because it's like Dany taking over.
Right.
I don't see any other character though, unless Cersei wins, obviously, which I think could be possible.
I think it's possible.
I think that would be a solid ending. That would be really sad, but I think it would be a solid
I mean, she's
ending.
played the smartest. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look like throne aspect of it, yeah.
She's
Granted, she also started at the throne, so I mean, she's not fighting to take it. She's just fighting to keep it.
But then there's the argument to me that she fought to keep it.
Yeah.
She did a pretty good job. I mean.
Yeah, she's doing a pretty good. You know, just blows up the whole city.
She was
Mad
there,
King style.
She's been there for Mad Kings. You know what I'm saying?
Mad Queen. You know what I'm saying? All right, but I think that's gonna do it for our
how long
Game
was
of
that,
Thrones
bro?
discussion. We're at 53 minutes.
How do we talk about Game of Thrones for this long?
Because it's so good. It's so good.
It is good.
We'll probably talk about it about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Before the end of the season.
There was just so much controversy. We had to cover it this week.
Yeah.
There's just too much to talk about.
We were thinking of other topics, but then last night we literally were texting for hours, just fighting, and it came to a point where I was like, "Dude, I have class tomorrow. Like, I need to go to bed. Please pause this argument." And then I think you said a couple more things, and then like we got back into it, and then I was like, no, like we need to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we decided to hop on here and fight it out.
Let's just say this. Final conclusions. I'll
Yes.
say mine first.
Okay. Of the episode?
Of just this whole
Okay.
season and everything that what I said in this episode.
Okay.
I think many aspects of the episode were disappointing.
Yeah.
I liked the battle and how it was shot and the cinematography and the mood change and the cool scenes. All love that stuff. I just don't like the storyline aspects of it. I liked the 2 episodes before this. This one put a bad taste in my mouth with all the storyline stuff. I have hope for the rest of the season. That's what I'm saying.
My conclusion, I loved everything about this episode except for a couple minute details. More people should have died, and the Crips was really disappointing. Other than that, greatest episode of television ever. The only thing that could possibly beat this out is the upcoming Game of Thrones episodes. I mean, it's obvious that I have hope for the last 3 episodes. I think the conclusion is gonna bring everybody that was hating on this episode back on the good side. I truly believe that.
I hope.
I have so much faith in these writers.
I'm not one of those haters that just want the show to end because I love this thing.
Just because this isn't regular television. You know, like you watch the Marvel movies and you can kind of, maybe. I mean, that's probably a bad example. But like you watch a movie, you can kind of tell where it's going to go just because it's Hollywood. This is not. This is Game of Thrones. It's its own world. I have so much faith.
And I'm saying that I dislike this episode not because I'm a hater, but because I really like this show. Like, it means a lot to me, and it just disappointed me.
Yeah,
that's where I'm coming from.
I feel like there's two sides. Like,
that's where I'm coming from.
There's two sides of super fans where it's like, one, well, I don't want to label you like this. You're kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
But there's one side that like just hates this because we didn't get a crazy red wedding situation. Then there's the side that just like appreciates Arya's journey and like it was just so gassed up to see her kill the Night King.
It made sense for her.
And just so excited to see how the rest plays out. But the other side is just like writing it off. I feel like you're in the middle where you're like, I don't like this episode, but I do appreciate some things. I don't know how to feel. I feel like that's where you're at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I say I'm a little bit more towards the
hating side,
but I still like the episode. Like, I think it was a cool episode. I just think if they changed those little things, man, I would have been so much happier.
I know, but we don't know.
I know.
The choices behind it.
We could go all night. We have to wait till Sunday.
Maybe Brienne dies in the first 5 minutes of the next episode. We
Jon
don't know.
just beheads her. You suck.
No reason for doing this, but you're dead. No, I don't know. I'm gassed up for the rest of it.
For sure.
We forgot to mention this in the beginning. I hope you guys like the new setup.
Yeah.
We got the TV here.
Yeah.
We also have the Game of Thrones Oreos. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a little bit of a glare.
Have you eaten any of those yet?
I haven't eaten any yet.
I have. Spoiler alert.
I think I might save them for the last episode.
Dude, they're double stuffed, but they were pretty good.
Okay, you say they're double stuffed, but they were pretty good. Dude, double stuffed is the only way to go.
I'm a vanilla Oreo kid.
He's a vanilla Oreo thin kid.
Nah. I like the regular ones better.
All right.
But I don't
regular
mind
still. It's double stuff or nothing for me. It's always been double stuff.
I like cookie better than cream.
No. Okay. I do.
See, we're just
fight
polar opposites.
I think the podcast might end. I don't know if we can do this anymore. We don't agree on anything. Yeah, but I think that's going to do it for us today. Follow the socials, Matt and JD. More polls to come. We'll throw up a poll maybe soon. Who you agree with? Which side? Which side are we on? But yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Anything else?
Just follow the socials. We're doing a Game of Thrones recap, so this was kind of a big recap in our opinions, more conversational.
Yeah, it was very, very opinionated.
We're gonna do one that's right to the point, like a recap of the episode, stuff you missed.
Yeah, it'll be a good recap before you see the next episode.
Right.
But that's gonna do it. So we will catch you guys in the next one. Later.
Peace.